Welcome in, everybody. Brett Allen here. And today we are chatting with the wonderfully talented Karen Robinson about her new Netflix show, Echoes. She plays Sheriff Louise Floss. This anthology series, 7 episodes, is just fantastic. We had your co-star on, Michael O'Neill, a couple weeks ago.
Oh my God, he is my absolute favorite. Look, Michael O'Neill and I, we got in the car and we drove around North Carolina and we ate everything.
You've done a lot of great projects, but when you come up to something like this, when you're preparing for this type of character, is there a process that you have to sort of, separate yourself from the other things that you've done and sort of get into the different mindset playing this particular person, the sheriff and that sort of thing?
I actually don't think so. I don't. I think I approach every character individually, and I trust, and I don't know if this is advisable, but I actually trust that because these projects are written by wildly different people that I have never met in my life, that the actual characters will be different. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I play a lot of law enforcement
I was
people.
gonna I was thinking about that.
I can solve crime. I can't solve crime anyway in my life, but I do. I play a lot of police officers. But you know what? My manager and I were having a conversation the other day, and he said, Karen, the thing is, they're all so different. And
Yeah.
he's right. He's right. Even Ronnie in Shits, remember she was a parole officer that one time
Yeah.
with Alexis. But Alexis had gotten in trouble and she needed to do
Yeah. I
community
remember
service.
that.
And I was a parole officer. Like it's amazing to me, but they're all just so fascinating. They all have their own stories, they all have their own backgrounds. And yeah, and because I trust that the writers, and they've all been spectacular, are writing complete characters, I'm able to inhabit those characters. And then when it comes out the other end, they're all different from each other.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I get that. Like watching all of your work, including this fantastic project, they are very different. And it's funny that you say that because I was thinking about that. I was like, but that happens sometimes in this industry because I think it's just a testament. It's not type casting, but you just do really well, and you're very convincing, even in the comedy genre of Schitt's Creek.
yeah,
It's all very different, pretty hard cases. I mean, they're just all really good. So this show Echoes has been met with great praise. Rotten Tomatoes has given it almost 100% on their side, which is crazy. That the power of the response of things is put into the hands of people like this. But that's what drives people to this show is we watch these things and we want to be not just entertained, but I think escape for just a little bit of time uh
hmm.
into these worlds that you create as an actor and as a storyteller. I
Hmm.
have to ask because I was going through your filmography and looking at all of this, and you have just done some amazing things. What interested you in becoming an actor or a storyteller? Where was there a key moment? Was it a television show? Did your parents take you somewhere and you saw a movie? I always like to find out that part of your life because it's
I
so
think,
fascinating.
yeah, I think it was a culmination of things. I think first of all, I was the youngest of 4 children, so I had to be loud and ever present in order to get any attention. Second of all, I think my parents were tired by the time they got to me, so they so they were like, let her go off and do what she wants to do. Everybody else they pressured into, one's a doctor, another's a business, another's a banker, the other one's a business person. And me, they were like, she's going through her phase and just let her go. But I was also lucky enough to be brought up in, I was raised in Jamaica, and there were several cultural figures there, the most prominent of which was the Honorable Louise Bennett, who basically gave me, she took the elements of the Jamaican culture, made it into a crown and gave it to me to wear. Like I'm with all the kids of my generation growing up and watching her. And I think through her, I saw the possibility of performance and storytelling as a vocation. And then when I moved to Canada, it became a reality. It became a
Wow.
reality because then I saw people around me who, so many more people around me. It's more difficult to do it in a developing nation, but in a rich nation like Canada, there are more people who are doing this for a living. And so, despite my parents' protests, because that's when they decided to protest, is when it was already like in there. Despite that, I saw, Cicely Tyson on TV. I saw Matt Sinclair on TV. I mean, they were few and far between, but they were so compelling when they did show up. I think that little girl in me was inspired to do that. I think also my soul knew that that's where I was supposed to be. So it didn't matter what anyone else told me. And I got told a lot of stuff about, why it was that I was not screen worthy. Yeah, I did it anyway.
Yeah, and what a career you've had. I want to just say, having been a fan of your work and watching just so many different characters that you've portrayed, I have to say just at the start that I find the world that you are a part of so fascinating. It's just different than I think what most people are used to. Um, Out of all of these roles, was there ever a point in the trajectory of your career where you sort of knew, okay, I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life? Was there a defining role for you, or has it just sort of been a progressive ladder? And each time it's like, okay, this is what I know I should be doing.
It wasn't a defining role, but I do remember the moment. It was a year after I moved to Canada. I'd done my last year of high school, had gotten myself into the school play, had won Best Actress in the region or something like that. And the prize was to go to a 2-week drama intensive in Northern Alberta, in Vermilion, Alberta, Canada. And I, together with I don't know, it could have been like 30 other young people from Alberta, were in. We All we did for 2 weeks was play, was
Wow.
theater, was drama, was mask work, was like hanging out together, was talking about our dreams. And I remember when I was on the Greyhound bus coming back from Vermilion, it hit me that I was 17, and I remember thinking, yep, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. And then I had to apply to college. And back in those days, you got a sheet of paper with all the different majors on it that you could possibly choose to do in college. And nothing else appealed to me. I remember it so clearly. Nothing else appealed to me but theater arts, to go and do a diploma in theater arts. And that's what I did. I was 17.
Wow. And here you are with this great show on Netflix, Echoes, Sheriff Louise Floss. And I find your character in the show so fascinating, and watching how they fit into the rest of the storyline. In this project, if there was one visceral thing that you hope viewers are able to take away from, if there is, what would that be? Or just that people can be entertained, for just a season of time, because this is just so good. It's just fantastically done all the way around.
I The takeaway from this, I think it depends on the viewers. I mean, I think you were right in what you were saying before, that there is an entertainment element to this project that I think people are craving, and when it's really good, that people really flock to. I think also the mystery of it, that throughout the entire thing, people are trying to figure out what is going on, who is Lenny, who is Gina, who's the good sister, who's the bad sister, if they exist. And I also think that Floss is going down that same path. So it's almost as though my character is on the side of the audience.
Yeah.
I'm doing what the audience is doing in the same time, on the same timeline that the audience is doing it on. I think all those things together, the entertainment and the mystery and you said also that it's a great escape for 7 hours, 7 episodes. It's a great binge.
It
It's a
is, yeah.
way to spend your time.
I love it. That's the beauty and the golden bar of Netflix is you could go on and watch something and just be entertained. And,
Yeah.
The case of when twins do things that twins might do and then gets out of hand and take things too far.
Little
Little bit. Well, thank you so much for your time, Karen. It's been a pleasure chatting. And everybody, please check this out on Netflix. It's all available to watch and all the other projects. Thank you so much for your time.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.